Minister Dration, thank you for taking my question. So you confirmed that the Alberta government has signed the memorandum of understanding with the Northwest Territories government. What was the process like for reaching this agreement?
Well, as Caroline mentioned, it was 4 short months ago that we first met at a federal provincial territorial meeting. And we obviously, Transportation Economic Corridors is in my title, so it was quick to start talking about economic corridors. And it was amazing, the conversation of obviously the shared history that Alberta has with the Northwest Territories, the border that we have. And, you know, when you talk about true north, strong and free, it doesn't get much more north than the Northwest Territories. And we talked about how our 2 jurisdictions could collaborate and work together on signing a memorandum of understanding, similar to what Alberta had done about a year prior to that with the prairie provinces, to work on harmonizing our regulations, as well as prioritizing certain transportation projects that obviously cross borders, as well as promoting nation-building projects. Canada obviously was built on nation-building projects, whether it was the railroad, Trans-Canada Highway, connecting the second largest country on earth with nation-building projects is something that made us a great country. And the conversation flowed nicely, and as Caroline said, it's amazing to see how within 4 short months our respective governments got to a very detailed action plan, as well as to this agreement. And there's a lot of potential that obviously will come from this. But I don't know, Caroline, if you wanted to add to that.
Yeah, thanks. And only to add, we already have the physical sharing. I mean, we have shared railway line, shared highways, shared aviation routes. But are we doing enough to actually make sure that some of the regulations that apply to all of those routes are properly harmonized, that we're maximizing opportunities to deal with labor shortages that we're both seeing in all of those areas? And this is one of those areas where now we have an action plan and a formal structure that allows governments to have these lines of communication open. I mean, and that's, if you're asking about the process that we got here, it was actually setting up some of those communication lines between the right people in the right levels of government who can make these decisions and drive these kinds of changes. So it's that process itself, which hopefully will continue forward with this now. Thanks.
Jonathan, do you have a follow-up?
Okay, my follow-up pertains to new export opportunities and for Minister Dration. So you spoke about how this is going to increase access to northern Canada. Why do you consider northern Canada an important economic corridor?
So obviously, with CN rail line going up into the Northwest Territories, their products coming down into Alberta and also into the U.S. is a priority for the entire continent. But also, when you look at futuristic of what a nation-building project could be of an Arctic port, and what obviously working and advocating with the federal government to see how we could expand up the Mackenzie Valley river, and to be able to go and have an Arctic port similar to what they have in Alaska and Russia. We own a lot of the Arctic, but we do not have the same level of infrastructure that other Arctic countries have. So I think as kind of a visionary goal, this is hopefully people will look back years from now to say that this was that starting block of being able to see that level of investment, because not only for military and for protection of our assets and sovereignty as a country, the importance of trade routes. When you look at the top of the ball, the top of the globe, access to markets around the world going through those shipping routes is a lot quicker than southern routes. So there's tremendous potential for Alberta products also to be exported around the world from this type of agreement.